Hello there, it's Tuesday, the 14th day of April. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. A special welcome to our viewers at home and abroad and anyone joining us for the very first time. We have an informative show lined up just for you today, highlighting some of the initiatives and developments taking place right here in Jamaica. Stay with us. Jamaica Magazine continues right after this break.
Are you interested in buying land or property? Here are the steps you should follow. Step 1. Find out who is legally authorized to sell the property. Step 2. Ensure all property tax payments are up to date. Step 3. Consult an attorney at law who will guide you through the process and protect your interests. You can also use eLand Jamaica to check on matters pertaining to your property purchase. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us on WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, April 14, 2026. The Ministry of National Security is in the process of acquiring an asset management program for the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. Portfolio Minister Dr. Horace Chang says this program will not only deal with vehicles or be restricted to tracking and monitoring. It is intended to provide a structured system for both keeping track of resource needs and making acquisition requests in a timely manner.
So you want to be in a position where if you need a printer, you'd have to wait 6 months or until the minister passes through. I call the place and say, use the impress and buy me a printer because it's not so expensive. So asset management is part of a continuing program to make the force more efficient and modern and relevant to what's happening.
Dr. Chang was addressing a recent ceremony to hand over 143 new vehicles to the JCF. Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ is reminding taxpayers and employers to adjust their financial planning and payroll system accordingly, as the second of 4 scheduled increases to the income tax threshold is now in effect. During her 2025 budget presentation, the Minister of Finance, Favour Williams, had announced that the annual income tax threshold would progressively increase over 4 years to reach $2 million in 2028. The latest increase, which took effect on April 1, moves the tax-free portion of annual earnings from $1,799,376 to $1,902,360. Broken down, that equates to over $36,000 weekly, $73,000 fortnightly, and more than $158,000 monthly of tax-free income. It will result in savings to individuals of $25,518 annually, or about $490 weekly, $981 fortnightly, just over $2,000 each month. As the threshold increase took effect April 1, TAJ says the effective tax-free amount for the full 12 months of 2026 is $1,876,614. Pensioners and golden agers are entitled to additional exemptions of $250,040 for each category, and so will benefit from a combined tax-free income of $2,376,654 in 2026. Government's Restoration of Owner or Occupant Family Shelters Roofs program is having a positive impact on job creation and commercial activity in beneficiary communities. Minister of Labour and Social Security Pernell Charles Jr. provided that update during a community engagement tour on the program in Clarendon last week.
We're hearing a lot of positive in terms of increase in terms of revenue for their business, increase in terms of employment for the people in the community, where they've had to bring on additional persons to help to manage the larger crowds in terms of potential customers, and also increase in terms of transfer of skills. So when you bring on new persons, you also have to make sure that you guide them, you assist them, and they're getting work experience.
During his stop at George Kirby's Hardware in Maypen, one of the approved hardware stores for persons to purchase building material under roofs, the minister engaged with beneficiaries about any lingering concerns. The visit was planned to gather feedback to strengthen service delivery and overall effectiveness of the program, which the minister says continues to improve.
So as we go through, our goal is to become more efficient. And efficiency requires you to open your ears and listen and learn and adjust. And we've done that rapidly. We've been a very flexible and agile ministry in terms of this initiative. And every single time we go out and interact, whether it is with the business owners or with our clients, we learn. And what's more important is that we adjust.
Under the $10 billion roofs program, people whose homes were damaged by Hurricane Melissa are receiving home repair grants ranging from $75,000 for minor damage to $500,000 for severe damage. Over $8 billion of the funds has so far been dispersed to affected households. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is reminding the public that under the Roofs program, only one grant is permitted per household. Further, individuals who have already benefited from a housing-related grant through any government initiative, regardless of the amount, are not eligible to receive assistance under Roofs. These include, but are not limited to, the National Housing Trust, Trans-Jamaican Highway, the Tourism Enhancement Fund, and the Jamaica Defence Force. The ministry addressed the issue in a press statement released yesterday. It reiterates that all applications are subject to rigorous cross-checking across government databases to ensure transparency, accountability, and the equitable distribution of benefits. This process is designed to prevent duplication and ensure that resources reach those most in need. And finally, emergency response and shelter operations in Westmoreland are set to receive a major boost thanks to the donation of 150 cots from the Lake Group of companies. The cots were handed over to the Westmoreland Municipal Corporation recently. They will be used to support members of the Emergency Operations Center, EOC, including representatives from the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Fire Brigade, who play a critical role in disaster response efforts. Mayor of Savannah Lamar, Councillor Danry Delancey, says the donation will significantly enhance conditions for the emergency personnel who are required to work overnight during crises. Director of the Lake Group, Michael Lake, says the donation forms part of the company's broader effort to support communities impacted by Hurricane Melissa and to strengthen preparedness for future events. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Jamaica Post is committed to being your preferred logistics partner. Enjoy the convenience of 3 to 5 days for international shipments at competitive rates and next business day delivery for local packages. Take advantage of our fast, reliable and ever-evolving services: zip mail, click and ship, fast track, EMS, parcel service, registered mail, corporate mail service and private letterbox. Access customer service support and track packages online. Visit our post offices island-wide and premium service centers at select locations. For more information, go to jamaicapost.gov.jm. Conditions apply.
Thank you so much for staying with us right here on Jamaica Magazine. The island has seen a marked reduction in major crimes. That's thanks to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, which has made significant investments in technology. Find out more about these tools in this next feature.
One thing is clear, that the JCF has now fully internalized and mainstream technology. All of what you're seeing now is an impact coming from several years ago, several policy and strategic decisions taken through the National Security Council within the framework of Planned Secure Jamaica, supported by a budget. For the last 9 years before 2016, the $28 billion was spent on national security. Since 2016 to now, the government has spent almost $90 billion. We have invested in technology, which is a display here, but more importantly, we have invested in leadership and doctrine. So we have invested in the training of a cadre of leaders of not just the JCF, but in the military and in customs and in MOCA. And they have a particular doctrine, and that doctrine rests upon excellence. And they are passionate about bringing down crime. So you're looking at a new tier of leadership within the JCF that could do well in any other force in the world. They are world class. The other big investment was the expansion of the size. And then we invested in other capabilities. We invested in investigative capabilities. We invested in forensic capabilities. We invested in special operations and tactical capabilities. And then we created new formations. FNIT, for example, is one. And then we turned the organization to focus on strategic threats. And the biggest strategic threat for Jamaica's security are gangs. So we have restructured the JCF to be able to deal with these criminal threats. And we are going to be relentless in getting rid of the gangs. What is clear is that there is a culture of embracing and utilizing technology. The JCF is also building the capabilities to use those technologies and innovate, and to make those technologies more native to the challenges that it faces, and to create some of these technologies. So the JCF is being positioned to become the leading technology force in law enforcement in the region. So very soon, the JCF will be able to export some of its knowledge and capabilities to support other law enforcement entities in the region. There's still a lot more to be done, and we intend to continue the investment in the security forces. I must commend the Commissioner of Police and his team. What you're seeing here requires leadership, and the former Commissioner and now Commissioner Blake have given excellent leadership to the force. There is a clear direction, there's a clear doctrine, there's a clear mission, and the level of morale has never been higher. And now it's important to build the connection with the public, to ensure that every action they take, the people of Jamaica will appreciate it, will understand what they're doing, and will feel safe. And once that is in place, then you're on your way to building a very peaceful society.
The Child Ran into the Sea by Martin Carto. The child ran into the sea, but ran back from the waves, because the child did not know the sea on the horizon is not the same sea ravishing the shore. What every child wants is always in the distance, like the sea on the horizon, while on the shore nearby, at the feet of every child, shallow water, eating the edges of islands and continents, does little more than foam like spittle at the corners of the inarticulate mouth of some other child who wants to run into the sea, into the horizon.
You started the new year with plans to achieve your goals, but along the way, it's easy to lose track. Our Vision Board segment can help you refocus and get back on course.
A mood board, ambition board, journey board, vision, or whatever you want to call it, is used to provide inspiration and motivation. They serve as reminders that you need to keep pushing and are quite helpful and very effective, especially for persons who struggle with procrastination. Co-founder of Mind Food International, Natasha Wright, has been vision boarding and conducting seminars for over 10 years, and she explains some of the things that should be considered before starting the vision boarding journey.
Vision is actually a mental picture of moving humanity forward. And so what we call vision boarding may not be in its truest sense, because vision, it encompasses helping other people. The vision board should look how you want it to look, but remember that we are human beings, so we do have that spiritual aspect, or physical aspect, our career, our family, so you want to have your finances, so you want to make sure that you have a little area or a slot on your board for these different areas of life. And so what you want to do is to find pictures, or you can use affirmation. You can find words, whether from the newspaper, magazine, it doesn't matter. Print them off, a quote, something that really represents who you want to be or what you want to attain, right? And you use those and you put them up there. Now, I like to tell people, it makes no sense you put something up there that you cannot emotionally connect to. Because if it means nothing, so for example, I'm not a car enthusiast. I'm not enthusiast. I'm not. That's just not me. So for me to put up a really nice car, yeah, I see it, I like it, but I mean, it really has to be something that I want. You need to make sure it's placed strategically. You cannot have a vision board and hide the vision board behind your fridge. Nobody's going to see that. It needs to be in that area that you must see it. I had a mentee, she did one after we had a discussion. She said she actually saw me talking about it on a program, and she said she placed it where she would rest her car keys when she got in from work. And when she's picking up the keys to leave the following morning, that's what she would see. Some persons, they put it in their bedroom, close to where the bed is, as soon as they get up. Well, there is no perfect time to do your vision boarding. You, more than anyone else, knows the mistakes, knows the things that you need to work on. I mean, naturally people would say you just use cartridge paper, use some kind of cardboard, or something that is durable enough for you to paste it, right? So you could put it on normal paper and paste it, but you wouldn't want it to deteriorate. Your vision board can be a screensaver. You can create a collage on your phone. Just remember, while you're putting up the nice pictures of the house and the car and the wonderful vacation, remember as well that there needs to be something on there that is going to touch other people's life in a more sustainable and positive way.
If you haven't created your vision board, take some time to start now. And remember that it must be holistic, covering every aspect of your life. Happy vision boarding!
Every day, we share personal information online, at work, and on our phones. But once it's shared, it can't always be taken back. Protect your data by avoiding oversharing, using strong passwords, and never clicking suspicious links. Be careful what you post. Don't share your live location, and keep your devices updated and secure.
Remember, your data is valuable. Protecting it isn't optional, it's necessary.
The Marrakesh Treaty is an international agreement aimed at ending the book famine by improving access to books in accessible formats for blind, visually impaired, and print-disabled persons. So, how is it making a difference? Let's take a look.
It allows for social inclusion, it allows for cultural inclusion, it allows for educational inclusion.
Fertile grounds are brewing for the empowerment of persons with disabilities as a long-standing book famine faced its existential end. That's thanks to Jamaica's accession to the Marrakesh Treaty.
Basically, what it does is it allows for the creation of accessible format books without being an infringement of the Copyright Act. In our instance, in Jamaica, it would be an infringement of the Copyright Act.
This accession to the Marrakesh Treaty on the 28th of August 2024 enables access to published works as well as the production and exchange of copyrighted materials in formats such as Braille, large print, and audiobooks.
Something that most of us take for granted. We want to read something, we go to a store, we buy the books. We want to read something that we don't want to purchase, we go to a library to access it. It's not that easy for everybody.
Such has been one of the biggest setbacks for persons who are visually impaired, blind, and other print-disabled individuals without accessible format knowledge material.
If somebody wrote a book and it is a printed book, you're not supposed to put it into another format without the permission of the author.
The Marrakesh Treaty changes that, enabling access to published works as well as the production and exchange of copyrighted materials in formats such as Braille, large print, and audiobooks.
It allows visually impaired, print-disabled persons and organizations acting on their behalf to create accessible format copies without needing permission from copyright holders.
Jamaica went beyond the scope of the treaty to ensure the copyright exceptions also benefit individuals with hearing disabilities as it changed the copyright law to include the provisions of the treaty.
Less than 1% persons with disabilities in Jamaica are employed, and individuals with disabilities face significant barriers to education, primarily due to the lack of accessibility of material for them to learn from. And the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, we're very happy to be the ministry, Jamaica's business ministry, to take this into the community and to make sure that legal impediment is now removed by us accessing the Marrakesh Treaty.
The World Intellectual Property Organization, which is a United Nations body, established the Marrakesh Treaty on June 23 of 2013. Jamaica is the 7th Caribbean country to announce access to published works for persons with disabilities by acceding to the Marrakesh Treaty.
It allows for cross-border exchange. So what that means is, if, for example, and our neighbors to the north are both parties to this treaty, so both Canada and the United States, they have several works in accessible formats. So with a cross-border exchange, we're allowed now to import those books, and it's not an infringement of copyright. So we have a wide, the famine now can be addressed fully because there are all these works that are available. And the World Intellectual Property Organization has an area called the Accessible Books Consortium. And under the Accessible Books Consortium, they facilitate this cross-border exchange. So we will be actively working with the Accessible Books Consortium of the World Intellectual Property Organization.
Jamaica's decision to join the Marrakesh Treaty is a reaffirmation of the commitment to foster an inclusive society where access to information and knowledge is recognized as a fundamental right for all.
The Marrakesh Treaty will have a profound impact on the lives of persons with disabilities, on the lives of our children who are desirous of being in school, allowing our educational institutions not to be limited in terms of the books and information that they will provide and how they will engage with our children who have varying disabilities. No longer can persons say that the materials are not available or we do not have, the wherewithal to provide same.
The Copyright Act now has authorized bodies which are legally allowed to facilitate the cross-border exchange of published books and works in accessible formats for the disabled community.
So it's not just the ordinary person who can do the cross-border exchange. They have to go through one of these authorized bodies. So it is a system that has parameters in place. So it's not just a free riding system, but it is a safe system so that those who need to get access will have access. And what the Marrakesh Treaty has done has made it now possible for anybody who is blind or visually impaired to decide, okay, this is an area I want to pursue. I can get the books. I don't need to wait on somebody to come and read to me. I now can take out my own book and do my reading on my own and prepare and become a part of my chosen profession.
Just think of our students who are blind, Salvation Army School for the Blind, and those who have been integrated in other schools across Jamaica. They have had to either depend on others or go without or wait for study groups, to really get the material that they need.
The Marrakesh Treaty, bridging the gap, ending the global book famine, experienced by persons who are blind, visually impaired, and otherwise print disabled, having access to less than 10% of published works globally. Learn more by visiting the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office website at jipo.gov.jm or call them at 876-946-1300.
Did you know that there are certain areas across Jamaica where sounding your car horn or making loud noise from your vehicles is an offense? Under the Road Traffic Regulations 2022, the authority may declare specific areas as silent zones. These zones are created to protect peace, especially around hospitals, schools, nursing homes, and other sensitive locations. In these silent zones, once the notice has been published, no loud noise can come from your vehicle, and no horn or warning device should be sounded during the specified hours. If you do, you're committing an offense. Now, there are important exceptions. If blowing your horn is reasonably required to prevent a collision, you will not be penalized. And of course, this rule does not apply to emergency vehicles. So, the next time you approach a silent zone, be mindful of the restrictions and abide by them.
And that's a wrap for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating today, and to those marking a special anniversary, we wish you all the very best. If you're visiting Jamaica for the very first time, welcome, and to those returning, welcome back home. Remember to visit our website in the meantime at jis.gov.jm for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.